Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Excited to see you. Welcome to another edition of Celebrated Live. We're going to be talking to Cork, Ireland in a minute. Happy Mother's Day, belated to everybody who had a great Mother's Day yesterday. Thinking of all those great mothers out there. And just wanted to thank you again for celebrating your Monday with Celebrated Live. Thanks to everybody who joined us last week. What a fun show it was with Terry. So many of you commented afterwards about how much you loved learning more about 41 and the updates at Rubens, and of course the residence is a milestone and all the great work at Ashford Castle, but especially the new openings in Edinburgh and Dublin, which we're excited about. I personally love Terry's emphasis on the special connection he feels to the U.S., and whether it was because of his grandfather's service in World War I, if it was his father's own service in World War II, and then what Terry pulled off after September 11th for the hospitality industry. And I think one thing is for sure, when we are able to travel again and head over to the destinations that Terry works with, the welcome is going to be warmer than ever. One of the benefits of broadcasting on Facebook is the ability to see all of your nice comments. I see Karen has a gin and tonic in hand. We've got Janice already saying how much she loves Hayfield Manor. So we've got great comments. Keep the feed active. Ellen just typed in from the Jersey Shore. So thank you for letting us see who's there. I'm here watching from Atlanta. Ty is going to be joining us in a little while. So if you have questions for Karen or myself, we'd love to hear them. Of course, we don't just want to know where you're watching from. We want to know what you're drinking. Today my drink is Middleton. I decided to really spoil myself with out of the many fantastic beverages from Cork. County Cork has many, but today I am drinking a Middleton. Cheers to you. And one of the best parts about my job is that I get to meet extraordinary people from all over the world, many of them hoteliers. And today we get to spend time with the sales director for the Hayfield family collection, which includes Hayfield Manor, Great Southern Killarney, and Killarney Royal. And that's Karen Fleming. And Karen is extraordinary. She just celebrated her 10th anniversary at Hayfield Manor. And I remember the first time I met her. I doubt she remembers the first time she met me, but I definitely remember the first time I met her. And every subsequent time that I see her, it's the same thing. There has never been a bigger ambassador for the magic that is Cork, Ireland, and by extension, the other hotels in Killarney, but the passion just comes through. Her husband was mentioning that it's quite often that she'll come home, most often at 9 or 11 at night, and I know why. She's in the lobby, checking in and talking to every possible guest. What itinerary are you doing tomorrow? Where are you going? How was your day? And most often just thanking people for stopping and enjoying Cork. So we're going to bring Karen in, and I'm so glad that she is here with us today. Could be that. There you are. Hi, Karen.
Hello.
Where are you broadcasting from?
I'm broadcasting from my kitchen right now in Blarney.
I love all the books. Are those therefore cookbooks, or are they all sorts of books? I know you love to read.
I do love to read. I can't take credit for that array of books up there. However, they are all gardening books, and I couldn't tell you Daisy from Pansy, so they're not mine. Mine are upstairs next to the bed. A big stack of them.
Well, we're going to hear more about the reading later, but I have to ask, are you drinking anything today?
Yes, of course.
And what is that?
It is a Beara gin made on the Beara Peninsula, and a fever tree tonic, and a slice of red grapefruit, which is my favorite way to drink gin and tonic.
I have to tell you, I cannot imagine the pressure and anxiety I would feel every day to have to choose what amazing drink to drink from Cork. I mean, I think of, you got them all. I mean, Bertha's Revenge is my favorite gin from Cork, in the northern part of the county, of course you love. But no, I think that you chose well. Beara gin. I love the grapefruit on a summery Ireland evening.
The struggle is real. There are so many to choose from. Bertha's Revenge, which I do love also, Justin and Jenny Green's, and Kinsale gin, which is fantastic. There's so many. I could go on forever.
What's the most popular one or two drink orders at the bar at Hayfield with John? John's amazing. One of the best.
John.
Yeah.
John the Don and his wonderful team of bartenders. I think they're the most popular drinks. Firstly, gin and tonic, obviously. It's popular worldwide now, but
I
it's
think most
cheaper.
Americans are surprised about the gin explosion in Ireland, but
Yeah.
there's got to be at least 100 independent gins now in Ireland, right?
Yeah, there's loads and loads. Even Jameson, actually, where your delicious Middleton
Yep.
is from, have a gin now called Method of Madness.
Yep.
So, it's everywhere, but it's great. It's great. And that's definitely, I would say, the number one drink that's sold in the Manor Bar. Followed closely probably by Murphy's Irish Stout, brewed here in Cork City.
That's right. With the Murphy's versus Guinness duel. When
Yeah,
you're in
yeah.
Cork, you order a Murphy's.
We always have to fly the flag for the Cork products, you see. The Rebel Red, which is also made in the Franciscan Well, is another popular kind of beer style drink. And after gin and beer or stout, I would say cosmopolitans. Cocktails are pretty popular.
Yeah.
And we have some very, very handy bartenders. Jack and Dave are brilliant at the bar. And Jack is actually even doing his own little home videos at the moment, trying to keep all our locals going with Friday night cocktails. So, yeah,
That's right. Well, good. Well, thanks for being with us. I'm glad you've got a drink. Not that you'll need it. Okay, it's just going to be a relaxed, fun time. I promise. We're going to start with true or false. We're going to get to know you in the hotel a little bit better. Okay, so true or false. Remember, audience, if you think it's true, hit like. If you think it's false, hit love. We'll see what the audience is thinking. So true or false, Karen, you were working at one of Ireland's best seafood restaurants in Galway, O'Grady's. Okay, you come back home to Cork, but you actually never intended to work at Hayfield Manor. You were somewhere else and you stopped by Hayfield Manor, met John, and the rest is history. So audience, Karen never intended to really get a job at Hayfield Manor and ended up working there. True or false, Karen?
That is true. That is true.
So what happened?
So I came back I was in Galway, managing O'Grady's on the pier and working with Mike O'Grady, a fantastic restaurateur, I have to say. And I took 2 months out and I went to South America with my brother and my cousin. And when I came back from South America, I was like, right, it's back to Cork now. It's time to get serious about this hotel industry of ours, or catering industry at the time. And I had an interview lined up on College Road. And I went for the interview. For some reason, my mom and my sister were with me. I suppose moral support, I don't know. But anyway, I came out of the interview and I was like, oh my God, that was horrific. I would rather die than do that job. And they definitely didn't want me. There was, it wasn't with guests and there was no interaction with guests, which was the biggest thing for me. So I was like, definitely not. But we're on College Road and I know that there is a hotel here called Hayfield Manor and it's the best hotel in Cork. And let's just drive in. So I marched in and I asked to see somebody, and John, the Don again, John Richardson, our fantastic barman, met me. And yeah, he basically made Etienne and Anne-Marie bring me back for an interview. And, I'm there since. So I was very lucky.
Wow. I'm happy too. Okay. True or false? Another one for you. So you and your partner, Anthony, live in the gate lodge of Blarney Castle. That part is actual fact, ladies and gentlemen. That is not the true or false part. We'll hear about that in a second. But once a year, you sneak up to the top of the castle at night to kiss the Blarney Stone in order to reconfirm your epic gift of the gab. Audience, true or false? Karen?
That is false.
How many times have you kissed the stone?
I've kissed the stone twice. A long time ago, and not since I've lived here, but I think I talk enough already. I and I absorb it every night sleeping in this proximity. So
I don't think you could ever talk enough. And I have to say, I have to ask, what is it like to live in the gate lodge right now at Blarney Castle all by yourself, you and your partner Anthony? What is that like?
Yeah, it's a really special opportunity. We're so lucky. The estate and the grounds are closed to the public, as are all attractions, unfortunately, at the moment. So the gardens are about 65 acres on a 1,300 acre estate. So we have a lot of room to ramble around, and it's just beautiful. There's a lake. There's a lot of things that people don't see when they come to the castle, because usually they're under a bit of time pressure. But there's a lot here, and they've done a fantastic job.
My favorite part of the castle are the grounds.
Yeah,
the grounds and just the image of the castle to me even outweighs everything that's inside. And for your guests, it's so easy to go at the start of the day before, others arrive, and it's 20 minutes away, 15, 20 minutes away from the hotel, right?
Yep. Late at night, 10 minutes when you were leaving, like very, very late.
That's right. That's right.
Going home.
Next, true or false. This one's incredible. I'm not sure it could be true.
Mm-hmm.
True or false that you took a challenge to visit the Arctic with barely any amenities at all, no cell phones, no communication devices, and you got it dropped into the Arctic. Audience, is that true or false? Karen?
That is true.
So I know a little bit about this, but the audience probably does not know a lot. What happened? How did it happen? Let them know, because I think it's an amazing story.
I was approached by a charity in Ireland called Deborah Ireland. They raise funds for children and adults with EB, which is the butterfly skin condition. And they said they were gathering a troupe of quote unquote kick-ass businesswomen, and they needed somebody to go, and would I consider it? And I was like, well, I don't consider myself a badass, but at the same time, it's a good charity. And yeah, after a little bit of consideration and support from the hotel and Scally family, we decided we'd take it on, and off we went.
So how many, was it about just under a week, right?
Yeah, it was just under a week.
And very outdoor exposure, kind of craziness?
Yeah, so we spent a week in this woodcutter's cabin with no electricity, no running water, down to the lake to drag water up for everything, basically. And then we kind of did a trek at the very end then to sleep out overnight, and had to build a camp out overnight and sleep in tents overnight and so on. Yeah, it was great.
Wow. Well, I got to say, the yin and the yang was that experience in Hayfield Manor. You get them both.
Our beds at Hayfield were more comfortable than my tent, but it was okay. You got to do it every now and then. And
I love that you did it for fundraising. I know how philanthropic you are, and the Scally family and the hotel are, so it all just fits together. It's a great story. So true or false, you have a tremendous fear of heights, yet you jumped out of a plane from 15,000 feet when you were in New Zealand. You've driven the Sky Road, but true or false, the thing that scared you most was driving out of Manhattan. Is that true or false?
That is true.
How did you end up, like, I'm not even concerned about Bolivia's Sky Road. How did you end up having to rent the car and drive out of Manhattan? When was that? Because normally when you're driving with us on sales tours. Yes. I'm curious what happened.
Yeah, and my comfort blanket was whipped from under me when I finished my brilliant week with Ty, actually, and Paula from Ashford Castle. We did a great week in New York, but I decided to be super independent at the end of it and avail of the opportunity to see a few of our friends in Long Island and Connecticut and New Jersey. And I was like, I'll rent my car, and away we go. Yeah, so the car, or me, or a combination of both of us, kind of combusted basically in Manhattan in 4 lanes of traffic. And I was like, oh my God. So I had to pull to the side finally amidst much sweating and almost tears. And I had to ring Chris, my friend back at Fitzpatrick's, and he had to rescue me like a damsel in distress. We got a new car, and I headed off again.
Yes.
But it was truly not my finest moment.
So everyone in the tri-state area, just remember, driving in your area is scarier than the death road.
It is.
In Bolivia.
I'm sticking with you guys the next time. I'll be chauffeur driven for the rest of the trips. Thank you.
Okay, so true. Here's another last true or false. Hayfield Manor gets a huge number of celebrities. That part's true. Everyone, when they stay in that region, that's where they stay at Hayfield. People such as Paul Simon, Diana Ross, Tony Bennett, Bob Dylan, John Cleese. But the celeb that you missed the most not meeting, true or false, was it Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam?
That is true. That is true, sadly.
And I know you had it all built up, but it did not work out for you. And I'm sorry, but I do have a surprise special guest. Joining us later in the call is not Eddie Vedder, but Ty. And Ty also sings, but it's not quite Eddie Vedder, but I'm sure you'll love seeing him as well.
Okay.
So actually one more true or false, and it's going to actually lead to a game in a second we're going to play. True or false, we're going to give the audience a chance to answer. Someone from Cork is called a corker. True or false? Karen?
That is false.
Correct. Someone from Cork is called a
Corkonian.
Corkonian. That is correct. So audience, we're going to play a game right now with Karen and you. Get near your keyboard so you can type. Karen, I've got 7 of these. If you get 3 right, I'll be impressed. 4 right, very impressed. So audience, challenge yourself. I'm going to name the city. You name what the person from that city is called. We're going to start easy, Karen. Okay?
Okay.
Give the audience about 2 or 3 seconds to answer, okay? Because they're fast typers, very fast. Venice. Someone from Venice is a... Karen, do you got this one?
Venetian?
Correct, 1 for 1. All right, let's move on. We're going to England now. We're all celebrated destinations right now. Someone from Liverpool is... Audience, does anybody know someone from Liverpool? If you know, type it in. Karen, someone from Liverpool is a, do you know?
Liverpudlian?
Liverpudlian, correct. My favorite of all of the names, Liverpudlian. We are 2 for 2. You are flying. Okay, here we go. Number 3, we're heading to Ireland. Someone from Galway. Okay, you've lived there. You should know this one. Someone from Galway. Everybody, audience, type it in. Someone from Galway is called a...
Galwegian.
A Galwegian. Correct. Rhymes with Norwegian. Okay, so lots in common, you know. So Galwegian, correct. You are 3 for 3. So you are now, I'm impressed. You get any of the next ones, it goes to very impressed. Okay.
Okay.
Heading to southern Italy. Someone from Naples. We are in Naples, Italy. Someone from Naples. Aaron, do you know this one? What is someone from Naples?
Neapolitan?
Oh, so close.
No.
Neapolitan. Well, that's the anglicized version. Yes, Neapolitan. Okay, got that one. All right, so we've gotten 4 though. 3 of them. 3 of 4. Someone from Manchester. Citizen of Manchester. Do we know what that is, Karen? Can you give me Manchester?
Mancunian?
Whoa! That is incredible knowledge. How'd you know that one?
I don't know.
I'm impressed by that.
Useful knowledge I've built up over the years.
I'm dying to know if any of the audience got Mancunian. Wow, of course. Stephen Davies from Culloden House just tuned in because he's a big Manchester City guy. There you go. Okay, you got your plug, Stephen. Love you. All right, next. We're going to Glasgow. You know Glasgow? All right, audience, if you know someone from Glasgow, by the way, someone just guessed Manchurian from Manchester. Not accurate, but I like it. I like it. Yeah, all right, someone from Glasgow. Do you know that one?
A Glaswegian.
You're just killing this. You could just come. I'm not recruiting. Don't worry, Hayfield. But you could with this level of knowledge. And finally, we're heading to Scotland. Someone from Edinburgh. Okay, capital city of Scotland. The name of somebody from Edinburgh. The last one. You'll get 5 of 7 if you get this.
I don't know, but I'm just going to say an Edinburgher.
I think that was actually 6 of 7. You are basically the smartest person I've ever met. That was incredible. 6 of 7. Well done, audience. Everyone clap. Round of applause. I want to see some applause in the comments because that was outstanding and reason alone to go visit Hayfield Manor. So I want to ask you a few questions, but before we do that, audience, don't forget, if you have questions for Karen or myself, please ask in questions, and Ty will get us in a few seconds. Also, stay tuned to the end of the show where we're going to announce next week's special guest. It'll be hard to follow Karen, but next week's special guest, I'll give you a hint. It's one of the world's top hoteliers who manages one of London's most award-winning hotels. Okay, so stay tuned for that announcement at the end of the show. But I want to ask you about Hayfield because, you know, I have a Hayfield bias, that whole family-owned operated thing, generational. You know, my parents worked with, you know, Joe and Margaret, and I get to work with all the kids. So we've got that generational thing. But to you, what makes Hayfield extraordinary?
Oh, we could be here all night. There's so much I'd
All
like to
right, you
say.
only get to name two.
Okay. I
Limiting
think
it.
the most important thing about it are the staff. They're incredible. There is very little they'll do to make sure that a guest is happy while they're with us. They will really, really bend themselves over backwards to achieve a happy stay for the guests. They're just amazing. And I love them all. They're great. So they're the best thing about it. The second thing, and you've kind of mentioned it already, I think the best thing about it is that it's family owned, because they're real passionate hoteliers. They're very accessible. They're always on site. Etienne and Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie designs every bedroom herself. They couldn't be more passionate, and they're just so involved, and you can reach them every minute of every day with any question. So everything gets done quite quickly because you have such access to the owners, and they're just great. I think it's a real family vibe. Mr. Scally is very passionate about guests feeling like part of the family, and Mrs. Scally when they come in. So yeah, I think that really goes down in the atmosphere, hopefully.
I think you absolutely nailed it. So first off, the fact that your hotel on an island of sensational hotels consistently have celebrated for 5 years running one of the top 3 hotels in terms of guest feedback, and you know how closely we track that. I think it's remarkable. And you see what the family has been able to do with Killarney Royal and the Great Southern as well, and it's just constant investment. And I think you nailed it. When you're small, family owned, you can move quickly. You don't have to wait for someone somewhere to answer the phone and say, yes, you can replace that a pillow. You guys are incredible about that. I agree. Have you been able to see anybody since all this, or is it all just like Zoom?
We've done a lot of Zoom. I have seen 2 of my work colleagues, actually. I saw our head chef, Mark Staples, a lovely, lovely guy. Because everybody in the world is obviously doing lockdown baking, including myself. So I decided I was going to make our Murphy's and walnut brown bread. And I decided I'd deliver it to him because he does live in Blarney. So he was within our restrictions. We could only go 2K or whatever at the time, 2 kilometers. And so I dropped it up to him. So I got to see him from afar and his family, which was fab. I really enjoyed that. And then my colleague Erin also arrived to my door 2 weeks ago to deliver my happy 10th anniversary gift. So I was really lucky to see both of them. It was just like amazing.
The team, I think that's got to be the hardest part for you.
Yeah,
you just feed off of your incredible team and the guests. Yeah. And I think all that hospitality is so bottled up right now amongst the Irish. Like it's just going to explode when guests can arrive.
Oh, the welcome will be very warm on this island when people come back over.
It will be mighty.
Yeah, it'll be great.
So next thing, and this is super hard. If you just had 3 places, and I've got about a dozen in my head, I don't even know, and you don't know about the clients, and I know how hard that is, but because you're so obsessed with personalization like we are. But if you only had 3 sites to send people when they're staying in Cork, most of our clients stay 2 or 3 nights, but if you just had 3 sites, what would they be? Places.
Okay, so I'll have to fly the flag, obviously, for Blarney Castle and Gardens because I just love it. It's beautiful and well worth the visit. Then I'd probably recommend that people build in a half day for the city centre itself because, it's a different city. It's quirky. So, it's not as immediate and as obvious maybe as the bigger cities like London and Dublin, which are fabulous. But Cork really has its own kind of quirky thing going on, particularly in terms of culture, and there's loads to do in the city. So, there's loads of museums and galleries.
Art galleries are so good.
Oh, yeah. There's so many, and most of them are free as well. And you can do a tour of a walking tour of the city just to get to know about the buildings and the architecture. And then, of course, when you're in the city, have to go to the English market because we're all about the food in Cork. We're the gourmet capital of Ireland, and I would recommend going to the English market while you're in the city.
And even great way to taste all that great Cork cheese.
Oh my God, cheese!
Destinations in the world right now, Cork, Ireland. Most people don't realize that. Very true. You beat all these Europeans at all these great challenges and competitions.
So. Yeah, we have fantastic cheese. Way too much cheese. I love cheese. It's dangerous how much we have it.
Okay, third stop. If you had one more site. Oh, okay. It's so hard.
Oh, there's so many. There's so many. But for the moment, I think what I would recommend is Spike Island. It's relatively new on the tourist attraction scene in Cork and in Ireland, because it wasn't for a long time, but there's like over 6 million in investment gone into it in the last few years. So it's really only opened since 2015 as a tourist attraction again. But the easiest way to explain it is that it's like Cork's answer to Alcatraz, because it was, in one of its incarnations, it was a prison for many years, and also a monastery, and also a military fort. But it's really nice, and it's just it's in the harbour off the port of Cove.
Right.
So people are going to see the Titanic and doing all of that.
It's a great way to get a boat trip in. Like,
yeah.
I mean, in Ireland, you got to get on the water, and this is a great way to pull that off too. Spike Island just won a huge competition too. What did they?
Yeah, they won in 2017. They won World Travel Awards Best European Attraction. They actually beat the Eiffel Tower and the Colosseum. Impressive.
Don't tell my friends in Rome.
Yeah, I know. We love Rome. We love Paris as well. But it's nice that Cork is up there with a little attraction.
Amazed. But it is. Our clients love it. It's just really come on stream for us in the past few years, and people do love it. But I love that it's so easily combinable with Cove, with the great Titanic history. But it was a hard question. I mean, you didn't even get to Jameson. You didn't get to, all the great towns and villages, like New York Authentic, Kinsale.
West Cork. So much. There's so much. Sheep's Head. There's so much.
The bottom line, it's an embarrassment of riches. You could stay for a month and not run out of things to do in Cork.
You could.
So from here, we're going to go to the speed round. This is where we're going to get to know you a little bit right now. This is the part I know you've been waiting for. We're going to put Karen on the record on a bunch of topics. Here we go.
Okay.
Used to work in Germany. Loved it. You were in Bavaria, right?
I was.
All right. So you got one vacation, your first vacation. Do you go to Italy or Germany?
Whoa.
It's hard. Not hard for me. Probably hard for you.
That is hard. I could fly to Munich, call into Garmisch-Partenkirchen, and continue on down to Italy.
So you're the first person who's tried to cheat in the speed round, but I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the sales effort. So I'm going to allow you to do both.
Yay! Thank you.
No more though. You're only allowed one.
No more cheating. No more cheating.
All right. And here's the hard one. As a Corkonian, this is challenging. All my friends in Ireland listening are leaning in.
Mm-hmm.
If there was no Cork hurling, which would be the saddest day, it would just be the saddest day. And you had to only choose between Tipperary hurling or Kilkenny hurling.
Oh.
Who do you choose?
Tipperary, obviously, because they're in Munster. And also because Kilkenny have pipped Cork now up for the records for All Ireland. So even though I know lovely people from Kilkenny and, home to beautiful Mount Juliet, I still have to say Tipperary.
All right, Tipperary. Okay, 2 Cork delicacies to choose from. Do we go black pudding or spiced beef?
Both very, very good. I'm going to pick spiced beef because for me, it's synonymous with Christmas Eve. My dad goes in to buy it in the English market and he cooks it on Christmas Eve and we have it Christmas Eve. So that's why I'm picking that.
Okay. All right. Really hard for where you live. And hard for me every day of my life. Do you go gin or whiskey?
I'm more of a gin drinker than a whiskey drinker.
Okay, we go gin. Room with a view or room with a great bathroom?
Room with a view.
All right. Starter or dessert?
Dessert.
The first dessert.
Yeah.
We have weeks of doing this show. A dessert person. Thank you. It's nice to meet a dessert person.
Yeah.
And finally, dog or cat? And I think I know the answer. Dog's a runaway. And according to Anthony, you're begging him for a dog. We'll see. I'll see what I can do to help. All right. So let's bring Ty in. Ty's going to come in, see if there's any comments, feedback from the crowd. Ty, good to see you, sir.
I'm here. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Good to see you. You look great. I miss you. I'm looking forward to another trip together, hopefully very soon.
Me too.
We've got a few people about questions today. One question that came in actually Jen and our team, she asked, can you please tell the story about the American couple who had the impromptu proposal?
Oh, yeah. Yes. So it was my colleague John taking care of them rather than myself, but we had an American couple arrive to the hotel very late one evening, and the gentleman pulled John Birchall aside and said he wanted to propose and it needed to be immediately. And John was like, okay, all the shops and stores were closed. There was nowhere to get a ring. But anyway, there's a lovely jewelers in Cork City called Keen's, and we know the family well. So we contacted them, and all of the safes and everything were locked. They couldn't open them again, apparently, for security or something. But anyway, luckily, as you do, he had a small stash of emergency engagement rings to hand. So we accompanied the guest down to the store. He selected his ring and back up to the hotel. And then the team, John and the team, got our little glass house out at the front. They got it all decorated. They put all the lights and the petals and everything, all the nice little proposal things ready. And yeah, so the gent had his ring. He had his proposal setting. She said yes. And then they served them a private dinner out in the glass house. So it was a success story.
That is so
amazing.
what you guys do.
Really nice.
Yeah. The people who stay at the hotel are full of stories like that about your team. Karen, another question that came in was from Elaine Smith, who's a travel expert. She's watching from North Carolina. And she said, since Cork is a food capital of Ireland, right? And if you only had one restaurant on a night out that you could go to in Cork that wasn't at the hotel, where would you go in Cork? Of all the great places to choose from, where would you eat right now?
And limit it to Cork City, because it's already hard enough with the county. Yeah. Just the city. Wow.
That is a really hard question. There's so many. I'm going to say Electric, seafood bar in Electric, because it overlooks the river. Ernest and the team are really nice. It's very relaxed. It's not like a high-end, fancy, but it's a really good bistro, and I really like the seafood bar there.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's the kind of thing that people are looking for, so that's perfect.
Yeah.
Karen, there's one more question that came through. This is lighter variety, but a lot of people are fans of the show Dairy Girls, which of course is a Northern Irish show. But everyone's wondering, have you seen the show Dairy Girls? Because a lot of people really love Dairy Girls. Did you know that show?
I've seen it. Yeah, I haven't seen all the episodes. We watched as many as we could, and then we didn't have the rest on it. So I'm waiting to see the last few, but I loved it. I really loved it. Yeah, it was really funny.
That's cool.
I love the
it's a popular show.
It's a huge show here now. Yeah, it's a big show here now because it's on Netflix, I think.
Yeah. Sister Michael, I think, is probably my favorite character, and she is a Corkonian.
What is somebody from Derry called? Audience, bonus question. What is somebody from Derry called? Completely unscripted. I have no idea.
Derry. I don't know.
We'll see if anyone in the audience knows. Ty, anything else?
No, that was the extent of the questions. But Karen, it's been really good to see you. I'm going to toss it back to Jonathan now to wrap up, and hopefully we'll see you very soon.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Ty.
Thanks, Ty. So Karen, I'm going to make a big announcement after, and I liked your restaurant recommendation. But next week's show, our special guest from London will be Michael Bonser from Rosewood, London. We will have a great time with Michael. Hard act to follow, Karen. We'll see if London can follow up on Cork. Cork always representing. You do a good job. Great job. So, but, every week we end the show with a question that always, our whole company at Celebrated, we're always about gratitude, and even in tough times, there's lots of silver linings. It can always be worse. And, but we always try to express that gratitude. So I'm interested, right now, if there's one thing that you're feeling really thankful for, what would that be?
Oh, well, I think like most people at the moment, it has to be for my own health and that of my family and my colleagues and my friends, and all our guests. That's what we're most grateful for now. And I'll cheat again and say I'm also grateful for our industry, our industry is very resilient, and it's really taking a hammering right now. But everybody we talk to is so positive, and I'm really grateful for everybody that we work with.
Well, Karen, I loved having you on today, and indulge me while I talk about my weekly thing that I'm thankful for. And this chat was such a great reminder of it. I'm thankful for family-owned and operated properties, and someone like you who's able to come there and feel like you're part of the family. I think that, now more than ever, the adaptability, the innovation that comes out of family-owned and operated hotels are going to be so important. And there's also, let's be honest, family-owned and operated, all hotels have been hit hard, but family-owned and operated properties have been hit really hard, especially. And I know that it's Celebrated, and our clients and our friends, we all want to repay that gratitude and that welcome for years that these kind of hotels like Hayfield and Great Southern and Killarney Royal have given to us personally, and to the clients that we send your way, and the great travel advisors who book with us and support Hayfield Collection so much. But I think we all know that when travel does come back, and it will, that we need to really, really show our support for companies and families like yours. So very grateful for that. And again, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's nighttime in Ireland, 7:36 p.m. in Cork at Blarney Castle.
Yes, correct. But, it's a good excuse to have a drink on a Monday, school night.
That's right. So cheers to you. Cheers to all of our friends in Ireland. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for celebrating your Monday with Celebrated Live. And we'll see you next week with Rosewood London and Michael Bonser. Cheers, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Karen. Thanks so much. Good to see you.